Greetings, Sir and Sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft with me, Lathrix. One day I'll say something different, like with me, Bob. Or something similar to that. So what are we doing today? I'll get straight into it. Screw the pleasantries, Sir and Sirettes. Today we're building the future. Today we are building a flyer. Now recently I built a flyer on the stream. If you haven't seen the stream, it was the most recent one I believe, which is Sledding to Victory. Which are lovely sleds, which I built a tier 5 flyer. Of course, I made it gimmicky and fun and weak, and it was an hilarious build, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this robot. It responds so nicely. It just feels good to play with. And that is, it just feels good to play with. It just feels good to use this robot. It feels nice. Everything about it just works well. Digging myself into a deeper ditch then. You know what, screw it. I would normally edit that out, but I'm keeping it in just for lol's sake. So this flyer has got me thinking, I haven't actually had a low tier flyer, a proper one, in a long time. I mean, I've had Reapers and I've had this thing and I've had gimmicky robots, but not a proper normal functioning flyer. A normal functioning flyer. So it's in tier 5, isn't it? Yes, I'd like to be in tier 5, honestly. So I think I'm going to try for a tier 5 robot. Probably try and avoid the use of the pink armor blocks, because quite frankly, I think they're ugly as sin. And probably be sticking to the blue and the Overwolf armor blocks. And I'm just going to be making a flyer today. That's all I'll be doing. It's really simple, straightforward. I'm going to be using a similar control style as the Arstotzkan Glory, which is a triple rudder on the back with a dual aerofoil on the front. So I'll be using tier 6 though this time and see how far that'll get me in terms of ranking. Hopefully it doesn't get me too far into tier 5. My word, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, so we are going to have to sadly stick with tier 5s, which is actually good because that was going to bring me on to my next point. To avoid going into Reaper status or becoming close to what a Reaper to being conceived as a Reaper, I'm going to try and stay as on tier as possible, with a few exceptions like like an odd blue block here and there, because, well, quite frankly, I think it looks pretty and it amuses me. So that's something there. Okay, let's do this. Don't really want them on their own block, but I don't want to send them out any further. Wow, the difference between that and the last one was actually rather shocking. Okay, so I don't want it to be too heavily armored. Honestly, it doesn't need to be the biggest armor thing in existence like the flank used to be, but I would like it to be somewhat survivable. I don't mind it being a bit more, I don't know the word, frail, I guess, compared with flank, because quite frankly, flank was a behemoth. We're currently actually in flank's bay, so that kind of indicates the current status of flank. Tier 10 plasma bombers with heavy armor and being slow, it's not very fun, honestly. Sadly, SMGs are abhorrent and they will absolutely eradicate you as soon as you go in. Okay, one issue I was having with the Arstotzkan Glory, of course the Arstotzkan Glory wasn't built to be good, it was built to be absolutely hilarious, and in my opinion it was, is that the front wings got knocked off every freaking fight, because like the one you can buy from the store, it suffered from the same issue in that the wings were basically splayed out from the main body. They're not tucked in at all, but the armour doesn't go over it. It makes it less than efficient when it comes to trying to survive a few hits. Like I said, I don't want it to be too heavily armoured, but if we can make it survivable, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. Could make it almost like a kind of rocket or a kind of fish, I suppose, if I elongated that and that there. But no, I don't think so. I think it'd look a little bit odd in its latter stages, which wouldn't be exactly what we're going for here. So we're probably going to armour the wings in a similar fashion to the flank had, with the kind of claw patterns coming out. Quite a few people have actually been asking me about building low tier flyer, so hopefully I can be killing two birds with one stone here by making a low tier flyer with hopefully quite low CPU. Of course, CPU can always be shredded quite easily by simply removing blocks, particularly armor blocks. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the perfect height. The next one is one further, okay, which it already is, and then the one at the back is one behind, like that, producing the claw shape, which I do love on almost all of my flyers. I could do the same to the back, and I am actually very tempted, but we'll see how it flies first. Of course, I haven't armoured up the bottom just yet, so we're going to want to do that as well. Similarly, I do like having a kind of asymmetrical bottom and top half, just because that, I don't know, it just makes me, I just think it looks good. Once again, put blue armor blocks there. We've got quite a lot of ranking left. I mean, currently we're still in tier 4. I don't really want to make a tier 4 robot though. Ah, darn. For reasons I mentioned earlier, I don't really want to over tier too much, and quite frankly, if I was in tier 4, I'd already be over tiering, because you can't get tier 4 flyers. Yes, because tier 5. You do use tier 4 tech tokens, don't you, on tier 5 aerofiles? Because if I'm correct about that, then yes. Let's see here. Put them all in there. Hopefully I have a good match. I'm not sure what I'm going to make. Of an Interceptor or a Bomber, but I'm not sure which. I don't think I'll be making a Flying Medic. Okay, sorry for the, well, the edit out there. I've been having a horrible time at the moment with my sinuses for some reason. I've been sneezing my head off all freaking day, and sadly I had a bit of a sneezing fit. Hopefully that won't occur when we get into a game, otherwise that'd be absolutely dreadful. But I think I'm getting a kind of shape. It looks like some form of horribly deformed bird. It's been dead for quite some time, and we're taking out. It's the plague bird, so it's. Oh, actually, isn't a terrible name. What have I done wrong here? Oh, okay. Wait, really? Have that much space there? Doesn't seem useful. Oh well, I've done it, so let's go with Lafix's idea and stick with that. Now, hopefully it should be one lower now. Almost. And thus, I can put the seat a bit lower so it's a bit less likely to be... problem is... So it's less likely to be hit from the top and destroyed, but it's much more likely from the bottom to be destroyed, which is a bit of a problem. What I think I'm going to do is rein in the 2 wings here and here, and that will become the... I don't know, that'll become the next change. I don't know how to word it. I want it less armoured at the top because it looks really too front heavy at the moment, even with the back armour going on, plus it'll be really heavy, which would be annoying. I think I said it fast enough there, so all of you can understand that, obviously, and fast forward. Slow it down if you want to. Use the YouTube slow mode option for some lols. I have a voice, or so I've been told many times, that does really well when slowed down, in that it sounds completely high. So if you want to hear how Lafrix probably sounds high, feel free to slow down the recording. At your own peril. Then I utter some form of curse for anyone who actually does that. And you all are far too terrified, obviously, by this revelation. Oh, what have I done wrong here? Aha! Okay, that's what I've done wrong here. Okay, then. I think I already see a problem. It's a bit too small. It's a bit too small, honestly. It's too flat. Which is a bit of an issue. Oh, sorry for the sniffling. Oh, my nose. I think I'm going to sneeze again. Back in a second. Help. And we are back after a minute of intense sneezing. And when I came back, it dawned on me. From the top, this looks very similar, at least in my eyes from recollection, from the bird symbol from Papers, Please. We've essentially made the Ostotskan's hawk. So that's probably what the robot's going to be named. The Ostotskan Hawk. Which means we really do need to make it an Interceptor. I don't really have an Interceptor, so it certainly makes sense to have one. A proper one, that is, unlike the Ostotskan's Glory, which is there just for silliness and happiness. So, let's make it fly, shall we? Let's keep it as it is. Let's use some tier 5 thrusters, because we can. Where should I put them? Obviously the back's always a good place, so one there, one there. Then we'll have 2 on the top, here. A bit further. If I'm going to have SMGs, I don't really know. Since we probably won't have them too much. I'm not sure, actually. So let's just do this for now. And then we need some thrusters at the front to make it actually pull upwards, which would be very nice indeed. We could use quite a few, actually. There we go. Now I need to figure out where the actual guns are going to go, and what tier we're going to use. You can get tier 6 SMGs, can't you, in tier 5? Judging by how little that just increased our ranking, yes, you can get tier 6 SMGs, which I am completely out of, so let's see. I'd like some front-mounted ones once, already got a couple, which is nice. So let's get 5. There's the question though, isn't it? Do I want them on the bottom or the top? Do I want them in like full dog-style mode? Because I've tried this before in the leveling series, and I didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped, but was extremely fun. Or do I want them on the bottom, like a proper... fine, we'll have them on the bottom, but make sure to have quite a few on the front as well, just to make sure we can actually shoot down enemies in front of us and try and line it up so these should have a free shot as well. So have it there. Like that, okay, that's not too bad at all, actually. There's only 5 though, would like more than 5, honestly. 5 is a bit of a low number of weapons. So what about if we put this thruster on the top, since we're not putting any guns on the top, we buy a couple more of our ones we just bought. Where are you? My tier 6, there we are. My tier 6 lovelies, have 4 more. All the RP going on our robot. The price we pay for our love of Robocraft. So let's put these back. And then, problem is that's there. Can we maybe make these have 4 instead of 3? Is that a possibility, having 4 on the front? Yes, okay, which means the middle is now the point, and the out there is the point. Okay, there we go. And that way, this can shoot through that, and it can also act as protection for our seat. Okay, the Arstotzkan Hawk has a very nasty payload of SMGs. No over-tiering yet either, which is really good. Actually, yeah, so the only over-tiered item we've been using is our blue armor blocks around the seat, and that is it. That is not bad. Actually, I'm going to then use the rest of our ranking, which we have spare, to blue up the middle a little bit more, just because obviously doing that helps to provide a bit of stability, because obviously if the middle gets blown off at the moment, everything is blown off, so really, probably best to use a bit of extra armor here. Oh dear, okay, well, that one can't be done then. Do I need a blue block anywhere else? Would a blue block somewhere be good? Sure, here. Just to add luck to it. Let's have one last practice, and let's get into a match, and hopefully we can actually do well. Wouldn't that be a nice change, Sir and Threats? Getting some lead kills for Arstotzka. Is it Arstotzka? Yes, it is. Oh, do I have enough speed? Didn't even think about that. Do we have enough... Okay, maybe some thrusters on the bottom would actually help. Yeah, we're a bit slow, honestly. And by a bit slow, I mean we are far too slow. However, that is a beautiful payload of pure death and destruction. Also, our Arstotzkan Hawk, awesome. I'm not sure, maybe, okay, we have a lot of up thrust, so maybe just point some of those backwards on the bottom. That should probably give us the little bit extra we need. We have, like I said, I might shrink the top armor a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to completely shrink the top armor, actually. That will, A, give us some more ranking to play with, so we can upgrade some of the armor. And B, it will just help out quite a lot, actually. There we are. And B, it will give us the ability to be lighter, and thus we don't need as much thrusters anyway. So there we are. Just have it like that instead. So it's still got some armor for the wing, you know, it's not like it's completely out in the open, but it's certainly a bit weaker than it was before, so it is a bit of a worrying sight seeing so much of the wing exposed, but it's not a terrible thing, it's not going to kill us. Now, yeah, so downwards thrusters is what I want. By downward thrust, I don't mean thrusters which are pointing downwards, I mean thrusters which are going to actively push the robot up, rather than push it down. Because currently we have a lot of thrusters on the top, which of course are pushing the robot down. These should help in a very minimal way, just giving us enough thrust to hopefully stay up rather than go down. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Lightened it a fair bit at the front, so it's front heavy, and we've put some more thrusters. In fact, 4 more thrusters going forward. We did sacrifice a bit of upwards thrust, so we'll have to see how that actually goes. Up you get, okay. Ah, it's much faster. Look at the difference that's made. For just, yeah, it's made a difference. It's not made as much difference as I thought it was then going up, but certainly flyable. Controls pretty well, not the best in the world. I mean, it's a bit too heavy still, but honestly, obviously it'd be better if we up-tiered our thrusters, but as I say, I don't want to go too much over-tiered. Ah, the problem is now though, the Arstotzkan Hawk, oh well, no, it still looks like the Arstotzkan Hawk just from the bottom. At least it does to me, that's the thing. It looks like a bird shape, and it's the dark red that the Papers, Please game references, so there we are. It's so slow though. It really is slow, it's rather depressing to use, but it does actually get quite stable after a while. It still dips a little bit, but not too much. Well, that's the price you pay for heavy armor in the middle, I guess. I like it. I do like it. It's a bit slow, but there we are. I don't know. I want it faster. The more I say it's slow, the more I want to speed up the darn thing. It's like, oh, I don't want it to be over-tiered of plasma. Oh, what to do? Well, if we just took away all the tier 4s, maybe we could place 2 tier 5s, and that should be better. Because of diminishing returns that you get with thrusters, obviously more higher tier ones are generally a lot better than... Sorry, a few higher tier ones are generally better than a lot of low tier ones. Is there anywhere we can sneak this in? It could be on the back like that, I guess. I'll just do that, okay. Well, we're completely top heavy again, which is a... Oh, we're in tier 6! No! Poop! Never such foul things. Can you go forward? No. Ah, darn. It seems going slow might just be what we're going to have to live with here, which is a bit of a shame. It must be said. Oh, no, we could do that. Okay. Could we still maybe put a tier 4 in? Maybe a little bit different? Yeah, we could. Okay, so we have an extra tier 4 at least. So we've basically I don't know. That feels like it should be slower. Let's find out. Hopefully it does well. Hello, Martian landscape. Are you ready for the power of the Hawk? Oh, that wants to push down so much. It still stabilizes. It's not the slowest robot I've ever had in the world. But it's certainly not the fastest, and rails are going to absolutely adore it. However, that payload is not only vicious, it can actually shoot forward pretty well as well, which is very nice. That's what I wanted to see. Because that coming at an enemy flyer is going to be horrendous. So, final verdict, we could make it a lot faster, but I think we're going to leave it as it is because I do like heavy armor, and, well, the payload on this thing is going to be ridiculously powerful. 4, 5, so we have 7 tier 6 SMGs all ready to fire at things. It's going to hurt things. Even at long range, being as inaccurate as we are as a flyer, it's just going to hurt things. Okay, so let's get into a game. I'll be right back once we're in the game. Let's see how well we actually do. Hopefully we'll do well. If not, refining of the robot must be done. So back in a second. And we are back. Not the best map, but at least it isn't the cursed map for our first attempt. We actually have 2 Interceptors on our side, in addition to me, which is very weird. Also, I decided to put the thrusters on the back just to see what we'd do, and honestly, it makes it worse. So that needs to be done something about. Really, the big issue, and I became very aware of this a moment ago, is that we're so small, we're so squished. As always, I tend to prefer smaller designs in terms of like more squat armor designs, like dwarves. We basically make dwarfs all times. Oh, there is an enemy flyer. We've got a couple of hits off, and it's pretty much dead because of our rail. Let's see if we can help out this bomber, however. It's a bit of damage already. We've got an SMG on our tail. Let's duck away. Thankfully, it doesn't know how to spot, which is very nice. Oh, that poor flyer is lagging like hell. I feel very sorry for it. That will not stop me from shooting it, of course. I mean, I do wish it damnation and want to send it to the pits of robot hell. However, I do also feel sorry for it at the same time. Oh, did a fair bit of damage to it. There's an, I'm assuming a rail. No, it's a plasma. Okay, we can bully it a little bit. Get some shots. Did quite a bit of damage to it. There's the flyer, which was lagging. Oh dear, the poor thing. We hit it a few more times. Trying to get the kill is going to be a bit of a nuisance. Oh, we could be very mean to these two fellows. Who have very little ability to actually defend themselves against us, unless they get a very lucky plasma hit. I think that SMG there is on his back. Well, very nice for us, I suppose. I mean, I'm not one to complain about a stroke of luck. Just try and get that medic down. That medic has some very nasty over-tiered heals, obviously since we're in tier 5. The plasma did actually hit us, so all credit to the plasma. That was a very good shot. However, I'm not really dodging, so I'm a moron. But still, not to take away from a shot, that was just simply a good shot. Did a fair bit of damage. We're just struggling to actually kill anything. Take the SMG down if we can. Or at least do some damage to it, hopefully maybe get a couple of... Excellent! I was going to say a couple of SMGs down, but instead we simply murdered it horribly. There we go. The plasma was firing at originally. Very highly defended. Is a very good tank. Well, I think we've been victorious. We've helped out on 2 flyers, and we've done a lot of damage while being extremely mean. And we learnt a valuable lesson that simply flying forward like this is a terrible idea, as you probably will never get a kill, and will probably be bombed due to your incompetence. Now there are 2 enemies left, and we have some fellows coming here to cap, so we could go on a bit of a scouting run and try and find the 2 fiends who are hiding out from our glorious team. I see nothing there. It's kind of where I expected them to be, honestly, since we're pretty much everywhere else on the map. No, thankfully one of our teammates is indeed capping, so we should have the victory. I'm actually very happy how it took damage. I mean, it was getting SMG fire at the start, and it was getting, well, it actually got hit by plasma twice, and quite honestly, it's still doing pretty well. It's still a bit slow, but it was slow to begin with, so that's not a huge surprise that as it loses armor and thrusters, it goes slower. can't see anyone. It seems to be absolutely deserted. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and simply help Cap for the last like, 2 seconds. I couldn't see the enemy, so they've definitely hid themselves well. And there we are. Oh, boing. Hello. I am on your side. There we go. Lovely. Wow, you've been battered and bruised. Is that white armor blocks? Ah, you've gone for heavy. You've got a lot of wings, but not much armor. Okay, I was actually rather happy with that, all things considered. What I could have done is gone for orange armor, some tier 4 armor, and elongated the robot. That would have helped out a lot with controls, but honestly, I like how well this thing can take damage. I mean, that took a lot of damage and did exceedingly well, so I think I'll have one more game with it, then we'll call it a day. Back in 1 second, Sir and Sirettes. I lied, Sir and Sirettes. We're actually going to call it here. My fiance has indeed arrived, so we are going out for the day. I hope you are all having a great day. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. I think I'll be keeping this, and we're going to be renaming it before I go as the Arstotzkan Hawk. Now, how on earth do we spell Arstotzkan? We had to Google it last time, and thankfully we do now have a robot called Arstotzkan. There is Arstotzkian Glory, so Arstotzkian Hawk. There we go. Or just the Hawk for short. Who knows? Maybe. Oh no, I missed a T. Wait, haven't I? Yes, I have Mr. T. Oops. I have Mr. T, and I'm keeping him captive in my shed. Arstotzkian Hawk. There we go. Lovely. So that's our new robot for a while. I'll be playing with him quite a bit, I think. I haven't had an Interceptor in quite some time. I do find them very enjoyable to play, but I find myself a bit lacking when it comes to actually using them, because I'm so used to how plasma bombers work. But still, I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. Like I said, if you would take the 5 seconds to hit the like and comment button, well, hit the like button and leave a comment. It would really help out me, helps out the channel, and makes me feel good on the inside. So thank you for watching, Sir and Sirettes. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye. For more Robocraft, click the description. I'm good at these endings under pressure.